Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 28 of Husband and Wife Talks. On today's episode, we will talk about the semi-goofy / interesting national holiday that falls on December 11th, some recent skiing adventures, Christmas movies that we have recently enjoyed, a quick segment regarding our recommendations for people based on our favorite items, and some listener questions. Stay tuned.
Hey, Marta.
Hey, Adam.
What's cooking?
Nothing.
Nothing's cooking right now. We're not making anything.
We have leftovers and we haven't eaten dinner, so nothing is cooking.
Yeah, because last night I made halibut for my lunch today.
Yum.
But I always suggest, I should make food late at night for lunch the next day. But whenever I realize that I need to then make it at 8 o'clock at night, I always kick myself in the butt because now I don't want to do it. But yeah. I forced myself yesterday, so I was proud of myself.
I'm proud of you.
I think a little bit of the from the seltzer water went up my nose, and now my right eye is watering real bad.
Okay, well, after that incident, hopefully we can still have a successful podcast.
Oh, our podcast is always successful, baby. No matter what, rain or shine.
I mean,
water up my nose or what?
Rain or shine doesn't affect our podcast because we are recording this inside. But
you never know. We could take it outdoors. We can do a hot pot on the road.
We can't because we have to. Oh wait, that's not. Yeah, we can because we're just plugged into your computer.
Yeah, that is true.
Cool.
That is correct. But today is December 11th. That you're listening, and then the episode's released. I think we've gone over this many a time. For you to realize that is December 11th, and it's National App Day and National Noodle Ring Day. Now, you might be wondering, well, the first one's pretty obvious, National App Day, and it's in celebration of apps and their creation from the iPhone and things of that nature. That's pretty straightforward. And then, if you're wondering what National Noodle Ring Day is, it's where they, for some reason, celebrate noodles that are shaped in circular form. I don't know where these holidays come from. I really don't. It really baffles me.
Yeah, I mean, I can see National App Day being a thing because more and more apps are being developed by people individually. And
I'm thinking of appetizers now.
Are you sure it's app as in
Yes, I opened up the section and it's a picture of a phone. I don't think we're going to be eating phones anytime soon.
But National Noodle Ring Day is really specific. Is there any background on the history of it or why it's celebrated today?
It says, within our research, we were unable to locate the creator or origin of National Noodle Ring Day. So apparently it just magically appeared out of thin air. But they said to celebrate it is to cook different types of noodle ring recipes. Like bake noodle ring, the picture perfect noodle ring, or the recipe called noodle ring. I've never heard of noodle rings. I've never cooked pasta shaped in circular form. I've never done any of this. So I don't know what it is besides circle pasta.
Me either, but I clicked on the nationaldaycalendar.com.
They don't even have pictures.
If you click on the picture perfect noodle ring link, it takes you to a recipe. But it looks like a bundt cake. It's not noodles. It's noodles mixed with cream of mushroom soup mixed with cheese and some other stuff. And it's in this 10-inch bundt cake pan.
That is gross.
So it's not even like you're cooking noodle rings.
This doesn't even look good. Especially it's already out if you have to use mushrooms for you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mushrooms.
Why are you not a fan of mushrooms again? For the hot listeners, so they can know why. Is this like another avocado situation, or is this completely different?
I mean, what would you say is the avocado situation?
Where you just naturally said you hated it for some odd reason, never had guacamole or avocado until someone forced guacamole down your throat. Well, not really, but you finally tasted it and you're like, oh, this is so good. I've been missing out all my life.
I don't know. I think I didn't like avocado initially because of the mushy texture when it's on its own. So that deterred me from trying avocado and other things. But mushrooms I don't like because I don't like the taste of them. And also, I think about things a lot before I eat them or before I just partake in any activity. And the activity of eating mushrooms just doesn't sound appealing to me because mushrooms are a type of fungus. And I can't imagine picking any other type of fungus and eating it. So, I mean, yeah, you could say cheese is like molded milk, right? Because cheese is made from milk that's been pasteurized and left out and all that, right?
Well, cheese collects mold, but it's not molded from the get-go.
Well, I don't really know how cheese is made, but anyway, I think there is something blue cheese. Blue cheese has mold.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'd rather eat mold than fungus, I guess, is what it comes down to. And mushrooms just don't look cute to me. I mean, avocados you've seen.
That's what you need. It needs to look
listen.
cute.
So avocados have a friendly not texture.
They're inviting. They're welcoming.
Look friendly. They're my favorite color, green on the inside. Mushrooms just look like brown and scary.
If they had a house, they would definitely welcome you inside.
Yeah, mushrooms. If they had a house, they would live in a cave underground.
They would be like Shrek in the first Shrek, where he wants everybody out of their swamp.
Exactly.
Or his swamp.
Exactly.
What are we doing? What are we talking about right now? Mushrooms?
Also, I just realized National Noodle Ring Day is when you make pasta dishes from the little round noodles.
Yes.
So you're not just eating them plain. So that's why I saw that recipe that had that and the mushroom soup, and that really did not sound appetizing. But if you're into that kind of thing, National Noodle Ring Day is the day that this podcast is released, which is Tuesday, December 11th. Anyway.
That is true.
Anything more to comment on the national holidays of the podcast date?
Cheese is a dairy product derived from milk that is produced in a wide range of flavors, textures, and forms by coagulation of milk protein casein. Casein? Yeah. It comprises, that's the word. It comprises proteins and fat from milk, usually the milk of cows, buffalo, goats, or sheep. During the production, the milk is usually acidified, and adding the enzyme rennet causes coagulation. The solids are separated and pressed into its final form. Did you get that? Did you get all that?
Yep, I got all that.
Get all that? Not
test
moldy.
Test me on it later.
Not moldy. Okay, I'll ask you about it later. But now that we're past cheese and mushrooms and all the other jazz
food items, that honestly, thinking and talking about food is making me a little hungry.
Yeah, that's true. And talking about avocado owning a house and letting, I don't know. But what have we been up to? What have we been up to explain or talk to the hot listeners?
So, Saturday, drumroll please, we went skiing again.
Woo!
At Vail
again. Just because Vail is probably our favorite mountain.
It's definitely my favorite. But something interesting to note. Well, I think it's interesting. I guess some people might not. But if you don't, I mean, no one's forcing you to listen. Just fast forward or just keep listening and persist through the difficult,
power
boring
through this tough time
segment
of listening to a podcast.
Hopefully it's not boring. But anyway, so last Saturday when we drove to Vail, we left on we left on Saturday, obviously. But we left at 7 a.m., but in our car driving.
7 a.m.
Santa's coming.
Santa! Okay.
I know him. That's a segment from Elf. Anyway, so we left at 7, and we got to the mountain at 10 a.m., so it took us 3 hours to get there. And out of curiosity, I think I Googled how far it would take without traffic, and I think it's like an hour 40.
Mm-hmm. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Didn't even mute the microphone. That's all in there, folks. You get to hear the nice sneeze.
I couldn't help it.
You owe everyone a drink that listens to this podcast.
What are you talking about? No.
Never heard that?
Water. Water's all you need, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's what your body's made of, and that's all you need. Anyway, so it took us 3 hours to get there because as we were driving, just more and more traffic was being piled on, so it was just taking longer and longer past what our ETA had said. So this past Saturday we left at 6:15
mm-hmm.
and we got there around 8:30. Well, we stopped for a little bit. We would have gotten there at 8:30, 8:45 if we hadn't stopped. So 2.5 hours, or 2 hours, 15 minutes versus 3.
We had to stop to get lunch meat because we didn't bring lunch meat from the day prior for our lunch. Except for we didn't really eat much, and my sandwich got smushed in my ski jacket. It ended up being, instead of a sandwich, became more of a wrap.
Yeah,
like
I kind of
last
just
week.
forgot about it, and I didn't eat. But I was looking, so we have the Epic Pass, like we mentioned before, and there's an app called Epic Mix where it tracks, because the card works by, what is it called? RFID? Is it RFID where you have like a card in your pocket and scanners can detect it from
A radio frequency ID? I don't know.
Anyway, but when you get on lifts, they have a little, it's like a little archway that you just ski under. It's nothing special, but that has some sort of detector, so it detects every time you're on a lift. So I was looking at the app to see how much I skied, and I skied 50% more than I did last Saturday.
You are correct. It's RFID.
It is RFID. Cool. But Adam, I skied 50% more this Saturday than last. Isn't that cool?
Is it 50% more or is it just 50%? I guess it's kind of the same thing because you go up if you're up 50% higher.
I mean, the vertical feet that I guess, the lift tracked was 50%.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, 50% more.
Was that just due to us going to higher parts of the mountain?
No, it's because
'Cause
I
we went
rode
to
the
different-
lift more times.
I'm just asking. For people out there that doesn't know, I'm just asking for them.
Oh.
Goodness, don't get snappy.
I mean, I guess, no. It's not directly correlated, but it's correlated to how many runs you do, because every run you do, you have to take a lift to go back up, and that lift that you're taking to go back up is vertical feet.
Does it give you the fastest speed or average speed on the runs? Because I know it gives a lot of information.
No, it gives you the vertical feet you did, any photos, because sometimes on the mountain they have people that work for the particular mountain and they have cameras and they'll like take your picture and scan your card.
That reminds me of the time we went to was it Vail or something? They were interviewing people and you're like, oh yeah, I'll do the interview.
That was at Breckenridge.
I'll do the interview, and then you got shy and nervous and then you never did it, and then we went down.
Yeah. But speaking of tracking your speed, there is an app called Ski Tracks, which is 99 cents, and then an app called Ski Tracks Lite, which is free. And that tracks your speed, how many runs you do, the distance you've gone, the slope, how long you've been skiing. I used to have that app, but then I realized I always wanted to compete with my dad on who went the fastest. He'd be like, I skied 60 miles an hour. And I'm like, oh, my fastest speed is 40 something. I have to go faster. And then my mom's like, please don't go any faster. Mm-hmm. So I deleted it. But I think now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to get it back, because it tracks how many trails you do, which is cool. And then the duration.
How's it know how many trails you do?
Because it's probably, I mean, your phone has a motion sensor. So if you're decreasing in elevation or increasing in elevation on the lift, it can tell. If you're increasing in elevation, you're obviously not skiing.
Good answer, baby.
Yeah. But anyway, you won't do a ski episode part 2. Just thought I'd mention the driving.
We like talking about skiing.
That's true, but we want to keep it diverse.
You want to talk about etiquette when it comes to just being a nice person that we saw on while skiing?
Oh, yeah, sure. So pet peeves, or I guess before pet peeves, my philosophy in life, which maybe I don't always follow because I'm not perfect by any means, but what I try to follow is I do your thing. I do my thing, you do yours. Not like I be obnoxious and then you have to deal with me, but I do whatever I need to do in my own little bubble, and you do what you need to do. I don't need to tell you what you're doing or what to believe.
Live and let live is the common phrase.
So anyway, we were on in a line waiting for one of the lifts, and as a lot of these lifts have, there's multiple lines, like maybe it starts with 4 or 6 lines or 8, and then they have the signs that say alternate, so that eventually it's just the one line, but they don't have to have someone standing there helping you with the line, because they have the alternate signs where the 2 lines become one, and then those two lines down past that become one, and then eventually it's just one line getting on the actual lift. Anyway, so there was a sign that said alternate, and there was me and Adam were waiting, and there was a group of 3 guys, and a group from that line just went forward. So we were trying to go because we were next. And these 3 guys just pushed directly in front of us, like not even paying attention to how you're supposed to alternate or the fact that there was a whole nother line and they weren't the only people on the mountain.
If you're on that side, you should just butt it in front of them. If I was on that side, I would have immediately just went through.
Well, I was trying, but I didn't want to make a huge scene. And then you said, what? Excuse me, there's 2 of us here. And there was 3 of them. And the guy's like, oh, there's 3 of us. Perfect. The lift seats 4 people.
Yeah,
so I don't know what exactly was perfect, if he was being sarcastic, because
I don't want to make assumptions, but they seem like they're the people that are annoying there that feel like entitled and things of that nature.
I mean, I didn't want to make assumptions based off of that experience, but then when we were on the lift, we were on the chair directly behind them, and they were just yelling really mean things at people below the lift. Like people skiing at the time, someone was trying to do a little jump or a trick and fell, and then one of the guys in the chair was like, that's not how you shred, dude. And then I thought, oh, maybe, they were friends with that person. And then they yelled at some other girl. I was like, I don't think they could possibly know every single one of these people.
Yeah.
But especially for skiing, like, why don't you just do your thing? Why do you have to yell at other people or cut in line? Or
I think it's mainly because I think the one dude that kept yelling out, I think it's mainly due to insecurity.
Yeah.
You're insecure about yourself and just want to yell at people. I mean, that's the main reason why people do stupid things or try to be obscene or try to be like when you go out to like a bar or a social place and somebody's being not themselves. It's like the classic stereotype they talked about, like when freshmen in college would just do crazy things because they're trying to fit in, but they're just insecure that they don't actually fit in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same situation where if you're not secure with yourself, you feel like it's your obligation to put other people down just because it makes you feel better, which I don't like that. And it just makes the experience bad for other people. Like, why would you do that? Would you like it if somebody made fun of you if you fell and hurt yourself? It just doesn't sit well with me. I just let other people do themselves, live and let live, and also follow the rules. That's all I ask. It's pretty simple. That's all I want. I don't need too many rules, but just simple rules that you can follow, like alternate, seems very straightforward unless they don't know how to read either.
Yeah, really. I mean, it wasn't even a big deal. It was just annoying.
Yeah.
But it was a great day.
At least we sat with nice people on the lift.
Yeah.
There was one guy that came from Jamaica. He was living in Jamaica for a month and then now is back to ski. It's like, that's a drastic change in temperature.
I feel like that's hard because when you come back from somewhere warm, it's a hard adjustment already, or not somewhere warm, but somewhere warm where you're also on vacation. It's hard to adjust back to where you live because you're not on vacation anymore, but also if you live in Colorado or Maryland,
Sky High, Colorado,
you're coming back to cold weather most likely. But he's coming back to even colder weather because he's skiing. But I still think it's awesome that you can spend a month somewhere and then come back and ski. I think he was probably retired. It sounded like.
Yeah, seemed like it. Just recommend for people that do ski, get toe warmers, because I was actually able to feel my toes after this. It didn't take 30 minutes in the car for me to finally be able to feel my toes again like last week. But it was another fun experience. I got to see another part of the mountain. I did a black diamond.
Woo!
Not well at all because it was very powdery.
Okay, you didn't. I wouldn't say you fell. You kind of just slipped a little because it was steep at that part, and we were.
I feel like I would have done better if it was groomed more, but it was so powdery. I didn't know how to deal with it. I'm still not used to powder and all that jazz, and how to properly turn and things of that nature. Because it was still pretty steep, so you go fast as soon as you turned. So it was an experience. And then once we got back on the blues, I was saying hallelujah.
Well, you did well.
Oh, thank you. I felt
If it's
pretty
any
good.
consolation, I did a black when you were resting, and it was also hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also very powdery, so it was harder for me to make the turns.
We should be in better ski shape by the time your parents come out here to go skiing.
Yeah.
We've skied a decent amount. Our legs should be ready to ski just consistently.
Well, I
each
felt
day.
already like the amount that my legs were hurting last Saturday was a lot more than this Saturday. But I also wonder if it was because last Saturday everything was powder.
Yeah.
Whereas this Saturday there was a lot of trails that were groomed, and it's easier for me to make turns on that because I'm not trying to navigate through really thick snow, which is adding resistance to my legs.
One other thing from our ski trip, which was, I can laugh about it now, but Marta wanted to keep skiing and my legs were pretty tired, so I wanted to wait in the lodge. So I went up this one lift, not realizing that it was just a straight shot from this lift all the way to the lodge, and I wanted to wait in the lodge because obviously I would get cold if I just sat still.
Straight shot that was flat.
Yeah, it was a flat shot to the lodge, and it's very difficult to push yourself on skis like fast. So I'm like trying to push myself with my arms and like step, and I have to admit I feel like I got a great workout doing that I think I deserve like 2 runs worth of workout. I was saying towards the end because I had to go there and go back, and going back was even more difficult because I was more tired from going there.
Struggle is real.
It was a struggle city. But on my way there, I got to see through like 2 or 3 people fall off, like when you originally get off the ski lift.
They fell off the lift.
They didn't fall, but they like got and then they slid and fell, which we never pointed out for beginners last week. But I feel like getting off the ski lift itself is a difficult task when you're new because it's kind of a new thing to deal with, especially if it's going faster. You sort of just have to let it push you, and then you just have to stay on your feet.
Yeah, that's true. I guess once you're not a beginner anymore, getting off the ski lift is second nature, but definitely a skill to be acquired when you're still learning.
I concur.
Next segment, Christmas movies, question mark?
Well, we watched a few, actually.
We have.
But we only listed one, which is a Netflix one, which clearly, easily tops our list that we made last week.
Yeah, it blows every other
it's an actual
movie out of the park. It has a plot. It's not just, the super cheesy Hallmark-esque movie.
It's the Christmas Chronicles on Netflix. Highly recommend it. Has Kurt Russell, who's an actual actor, playing Santa Claus. And then the basic premise is these 2 kids kind of hop in Santa's sleigh eventually, and then causes him to crash and all that jazz, and then they have to go find stuff to save Santa's, save Christmas, basically. But it's really funny. I enjoyed it a lot. It's got cute cartoon elves in there as well, but it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot too.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I think it was the producers of Home Alone made that.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
Not made it, but they executive produced it and all, which doesn't mean much for the story itself. It's just like they funded it because they thought it was a good project. But still, it was very good. Highly recommend it. Pretty good movie if you have Netflix to just check out. I really enjoyed it. We also watched Christmas in Handcuffs.
Was it Christmas in Handcuffs or
Holidays in Handcuffs? It was one of those things, which was fit into one of those categories of like the Princess Switch and all the the lovey-dovey Christmas movies, which I still enjoy. So the basic premise is the girl gets dumped on Christmas Eve, has to go to her parents, so she basically kidnaps another guy. You can already see how this movie's going to end like every other romantic Christmas movie, but it's a fun journey to get there.
Unfortunately, just like most movies, I fell asleep before the end, so not really quite sure how it ends. Maybe I'll go back in and rewatch the ending.
Because we actually started watching movies on Freeform because they have a few different movies as well, instead of just looking at Netflix, because Freeform has its own quote-unquote movie library, and there's a lot of Christmas movies there. And you also watched, I didn't watch much of it, but you watched Life Size too.
Yes, I did.
It was very PC, as they said a lot in that movie, which made me roll my eyes, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, I kind of liked it because I saw Life Size, like, the first version, or the first movie. I saw that a while ago because it came out many years ago. And I thought it was, like, a cute little plot line. So when I saw there was a second one, I just wanted to see it. Especially since, what's her name? Tyra Banks? Is she the
She's
Barbie?
the doll.
Also, she looked... I don't know how... I guess the magic of makeup. But she's 45 right now.
And she's in good shape, so
I mean,
helps.
yeah, she's in good shape. But in the movie, she looked I would say, like, almost exactly like she did in the first Life Size. And the first Life Size came out in 2000.
Yeah.
And this one came out this year, so 18 years later.
I feel like makeup does help make you look exactly the same as a while ago, if you put on enough.
Also, fun fact, in 2011, her net worth was $90 million.
Why'd you come across that? Or
Well,
did you come across
I Googled
that?
Tyra Banks to see how old she is and to make sure that was the actor in Life Size. And then under her on Google, it has a little sidebar that has the person's name and birthday. And then it says net worth under her partner.
It was 90 million
In 2011.
I wonder what it is now. Sounds pretty good to me. I'll take 90 million. If you ask me. I think if you ask anybody that's listening right now, they'll take 90 million. Who wouldn't? Unless you're a rich snob.
Before tax or after tax? Just kidding. I would take it before
Are there
or after.
any other
tax.
Christmas movies that we watched recently that you can think of? We're going to watch a movie tonight.
For sure. It's so hard for me to remember because I fall asleep during a lot of them. I don't know, but speaking of Christmas movies, I was looking at the 25 Days of Christmas lineup that Freeform has,
It's pretty lacking this year.
formerly ABC Family. And first of all, I knew that they repeated movies because they play what, 8 to 10 movies a day. And there's not 250 unique Christmas movies that they probably have the rights to. So they obviously have to repeat movies. But they don't have a lot of the classics. Like, they don't have Elf. They don't have Home Alone 1 or 2. They only have the third one. They don't have Polar Express, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I know it's one of the more classic-y type Christmas movies. So I'm a little upset with that, but I guess it's because they don't have the rights to the movie, so they can't show it.
I'm assuming that's kind of how it works. They haven't purchased the license to play them this Christmas season. And I wonder if that's due to lack of funds. I don't know if less people watch cable or other streaming services purchasing those licenses to play those movies, or if it's, I don't know, it could be a lot of things.
Somebody commented on this article that shows the 25 Days of Christmas schedule and said that both Elf and Polar Express, the rights are owned by the AMC network this year.
AMC? That's a random network. That's the network that plays The Walking Dead. That's a random.
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if they're showing Christmas movies as well. Does everybody show generic Christmas movies? Not generic, but like the Hallmark style.
Yeah, so, I mean, we still have Amazon Prime and Netflix, and so I think we'll have plenty of Christmas movies to watch.
Yeah,
so.
Not
Christmas related, but we did watch Toy Story.
Was
that this weekend or last week?
That was this weekend.
But that was a fun little throwback because I saw Toy Story back in the day, but it's probably been a while. I mean, Toy Story came out in, 1995? Oh, wow. I thought it was like early 2000s. So Toy Story is a year. Oops. Accidentally clicked on the trailer. Didn't mean to do that. Toy Story came out a year after I was born. So definitely saw it when I was a kid.
Still holds up, which is not surprising because it's a fantastic movie.
Also, when we were watching Toy Story, we realized, or I think you realized, that Tim Allen was in several movies that we were watching, because apparently Tim Allen plays Buzz Lightyear, and Tom Hanks plays Woody, which I'm not that good at connecting voices to animated characters, unless it's someone I've heard a lot. But usually I'm just like, oh, this must be some nobody actor. I don't know. And then you said Tim Allen. I was like, oh, I hear that. And then Tim Allen was in, what, Christmas with the Cranks?
Christmas with the Cranks and all the Santa Claus movies.
All the Santa Claus.
He's rolling in the dough from Freeform every time it plays. That reminds
me. I watched this on Sunday morning really early because I woke up at 6:30 a.m. But I watched, what was the name of the movie? Oh, Deck the Halls. I watched Deck the Halls, which I liked. I mean, I missed the very beginning of it, but I liked the middle and end. And I feel like I'm finally more movie educated because I recognize actors. Because in Deck the Halls one of the characters was Ferris Bueller from the movie Ferris Bueller's Days Off or whatever it's called. And then the other character was the dad in Matilda. And in this movie, he was also a car salesman, which I thought was funny. Because I guess he was, I don't know if it's coincidence or he's just cast into a specific role. Well, that's not true, because in this movie, he was nice, and in Matilda, he was very strict.
Danny DeVito?
That's
his name.
Danny DeVito is the Matilda dad.
He's in also Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
And Matthew... Or no, it's the opposite. Danny DeVito is...
Matilda's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's 74? 4'10"? Wow, he's short. Well, taller than me, but...
Short man he is.
I like Matilda. It's classic.
We're just going to branch off into talking about Matilda.
Who knew Marta could hold a conversation about movies? Well, not me.
Fun fact, my cousin used to look like Matilda when she was younger.
Your cousin used to look like Matilda? Which cousin?
I'm not going to say it on air.
Just first name. Okay.
I'll talk to you afterwards. I've already said this to you before,
We'll take this offline. I don't see any resemblance, but...
You also said quick segment on the notes. What is your quick segment?
Yes, quick segment is things I'm excited for / thankful for, which is in January, we're going to have 2 more sets of friend visitors come to Colorado and stay with us.
What a title. Friend visitors.
Well, I was going to say 2 sets of friends. I guess that's
2 sets of friends that are visiting us.
So I'm excited. Maybe with with one set we'll go skiing, and with the other set like hiking or something. We'll
board games. Which I've been meaning I want to play because we played that Exploding Kittens game, which is a fantastic, fun little card game.
Oh, our friend that's visiting would like that game.
Yeah, AK was going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to enjoy it just listening to you and him scream back and forth.
Me and him are going to get crazy. Yeah. Like yelling, chanting, our normal crazy hyperness.
Because if no one's ever played Explosive Kittens, the basic premise is that you have like a card in the deck that if you draw it, you'll basically lose. So it's kind of like a roulette style guessing luck.
It's so stressful.
But it's very stressed because you don't know if you're going to draw it or not. And you have different types of cards that allow you to see in the future or do different things. And like some cards can save you from an exploding cat. But I really enjoy the game because it's very simple. And I also like the art on it. It's very funny. So like, for an example, if you draw an exploding kitten, the way to defuse it, quote unquote, is you play like a deploy card. And like the deploy card could be like, oh, you have a laser pointer, which calms the cat down, which I thought was funny. And they have, of course, like expansion packs because all card games have that and stuff. So maybe in the future. But yeah, I'm excited. But continue.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Just saying, I'm excited.
You're showing your appreciation.
Show my anonymous appreciation.
Well, we appreciate everyone that listens to the podcast.
Well, yeah, but that's very generic. I wanted to do a more specific.
Do you want to
appreciation?
How about, since we are at 34 minutes, you want to pick one of the listener questions you want to answer? Go through?
Sure, I'll answer the first one. It's super easy.
Okay.
Would you rather give up alcohol for the rest of your life or give up ice cream for the rest of your life? I would definitely rather give up alcohol. That's not even close. Like,
it's not even close.
Easy.
Easy. That's true because you don't drink that much. I mean, neither do I. I feel like it would be the same way, except for lately, ice cream has hurt my stomach. But I can get dairy-free, which is really good with Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of an easy question to answer. Maybe for other people it'd be more difficult, but since we're not really big drinkers, it's kind of straightforward. Because I feel like the only time we do drink is like in social gatherings, like if we feel like drinking like a glass of wine or something.
Yeah.
But I don't go out of my way to drink from time to time. I mean, if we have a wine bottle, I feel like I should finish it before we grab another one. So,
yeah.
But other than that, I'm just not a fan of letting things go to waste. That's another reason why if we have wine, I'll drink it randomly. But other than that, if we don't have it, I don't need it.
Agreed.
Agreed. Now, to another segment that I figured we should add, which I thought would be kind of fun, is like each week give recommendations that we had for this past week that we've gone through and we've either done something or we watched something or read something or we used something or went on a site or did something. So we figured I'll throw to Marta to give her recommendations.
So the first one would be an early Christmas gift that I've received, which is a Dyson cordless vacuum.
Got it from Santa?
Santa dropped it off early. I was just so good this year.
So why'd you want this vacuum again to begin with?
Well, first of all, I just wanted a new vacuum. No, that's not true.
Because apparently the vacuum that I brought is not.
It just looks like it looks
You're
like a
gonna say
vacuum
granny vacuum?
you would see at your grandma's house that she's had for 10 years.
It's a nice vacuum.
Yeah, but it's just old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
And Dyson makes really nice high-end products. And I saw that they came out with a cordless vacuum recently, which, I mean, I feel like when you're vacuuming, one of the things that's most annoying is toggling around with the cord and finding places to plug it in as you move throughout the house. So the fact that you're having a cordless vacuum is you can just walk anywhere. You're not tied down by anything. You're not inconvenienced.
Such a millennial. Don't want to be tied down, even when it comes to vacuums.
Seriously. But, so yeah, I got a cordless vacuum from Santa,
And folks, she was so excited that she was vacuuming on car rides. I think you were vacuuming on the car ride to ski? No. You were vacuuming on some ride.
It was a short car ride.
Yeah.
But,
like Whole
yeah,
Foods,
because it came with a bunch of different attachments.
Whew. You're yawning a decent amount lately.
It's already almost 7, so.
Getting close to your bedtime.
Bedtime's a-coming. But it comes with a lot of different attachments, like a normal vacuum with a long arm or whatever it's called, and then a bunch of different attachments for different surfaces that you might want to vacuum. Mm-hmm. So it's just really versatile, whatever the word is.
It has a nice fancy wall mount that we can charge.
Yeah, Adam helped, or not helped, you did. You attached the wall mount, which the charging cord,
not easy.
You plug into the wall and then you just weave it through this wall mount, and then whenever you're done with the vacuum, you can just place it there, and then it charges there as well, since the charger is conveniently just poking out right where the charging port on the vacuum head is.
The benefit of that vacuum, I do have to admit, is it's a lot smaller. It seems like it's easier to use.
Smaller,
like
easier
around.
To use, convenience. Just, I can't see any cons. Besides the price tag, but yeah. Santa brought it, so.
I don't know if we mentioned this before, since we're on the thing of Dyson, but it seems like they've only come out with like 2 things, like a vacuum, and now they've come out with a hair dryer. Or no, it's like they have fans, vacuums, and now a hair dryer, which is kind of in the same category.
They have air purifiers too.
It's all related to air.
How's a vacuum related to air?
Baby, it's a vacuum. It has no air. It like sucks things in.
Weird.
It's related to air by not having air.
Deep.
That's what guys say. We get very deep on this podcast when it comes to vacuum appliances.
Always.
You also have another recommendation. Twofer on this segment.
Another recommendation, which I thought was made up / a scam for a while. was Ebates.
Don't get me started.
Which Adam doesn't like Ebates, or he doesn't like Ebates.
I hate the commercial because the commercial says, I'm making money from buying stuff. You're not. You're just paying for it and you're getting cash back. That's just all that's happening. You're not getting paid to buy stuff because you're buying it to begin with. You're still in a net negative of cash flow. Okay, I'm done. Continue.
Anyway, so it's pretty much like cash back that you would get on a credit card, but instead of it being tied to your credit card, it's just an extension or a browser or something. I think an extension is what you call it. And you just download it, and then when you go to different sites, if Ebates has cash back that you can get there, a little pop-up pops up saying activate, and then it says the percent. So it's cool because you get cash back. I mean, it's not usually credit cards give you like 1 or 2%, the generic ones, but Ebates for some websites has like 10 or 15. So it's a significant chunk. And when I was Christmas shopping, I got quite a bit of cash back. So
yeah, especially if you don't use your own card.
Well, I don't know why you would do that, but it's nice because in addition to whatever rewards you get on your credit card, you're also getting this cash back, and then they send you checks. I think it's once a quarter. It said I'm supposed to get mine for what I just purchased online and got cash back for in February. So that's cool. If you do online shopping, I recommend it because it's an easy way to get extra cash back. You're not making money. You're just getting cash back from whatever you did purchase.
I don't even know how that works. Like, does Ebates get a percentage or something?
Well, I think they make money by, technically they're advertising these companies because the companies on the Ebates website, you see, Macy's or Ulta or Gap or whatever, and then you want to shop there.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much, I think they're just kind of affiliate marketing for these companies.
Goodness.
I'm not sure, but that's what I think. Anyway, those are my 2 recommendations for this week.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want me? I should give my recommendation this week. I only have one, folks. I'm apparently not. I'm not filled with recommendations like Marta is this week, but I have one recommendation, and I'm happy that we went and chose this. We purchased, I guess, a Christmas present for ourselves because our Fire Stick was basically dying. It seemed like it would crash every few hours or so that it was up. So we ended up getting a new Roku Streaming Stick Plus. We decided to make the switch from the Fire Stick to this because I was seeing when I was researching it. It seems like a lot of people like the layout more of the Roku and a lot of different apps, and it's better functionality and things of that nature. But it apparently was pretty close, as either one is actually pretty good. But I like the layout. I do like the layout now of the Roku a lot more. You don't have Amazon ads popping up when you first get into the Fire Stick, which I feel like also slows it down when it's projecting this gigantic image onto the screen. I feel like would slow down any Fire Stick that's older than like a few years, because it seems like you got the Fire Stick pretty recently, so it's been
I'd say like 2 years,
2 or 3
years. Yeah.
So it's slowed down significantly for now. I guess the added stuff that's been added on these different apps, but I like the Roku because it works a lot better. You can actually connect it to your TV, so you can power on and control the volume, which is kind of nice, and then moves a lot quicker, processes things a lot quicker, has a better layout in my opinion. You can still get all your Amazon movies that you originally purchased, which is nice because you have the Prime Video app, which leads me to one of my pet peeves that grinds my gears type of thing that happens, is that iTunes is so exclusive that they don't let you, there's not like an iTunes app or anything else on other applications, because Amazon at least lets you do that with their Prime Video app, but for some reason iTunes or in Apple is too what's the word, hush hush, too prima donna-ish. I don't know what's the proper word for that. Too snobby, there it is, to allow their movies to come on to other devices, which is kind of frustrating because there's a whole library of movies that I don't have access to. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I really enjoy it. So I would highly recommend this as a stocking stuffer if you want to get this for somebody, whether it's somebody in your family. 'Cause I feel like, everything streams nowadays, so why not? Good stocking stuffer. I think it's like $49.99, which is not that too high of a price point, I think.
Yeah, well, we got it on sale as well.
Yeah, it was on sale, which you probably can find sales for it now too. If you just search anywhere, they'll have some sort of sale. We got it at Target. But yeah, good stocking stuffer. Recommend. I like a lot because now our streaming device won't just randomly crash and die, or just because the one pet peeve is when I try to go back and it would not let me go back. It was just frustrating.
Yeah, it's so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
So nice.
And that seems like it just happens sometimes with just electronics in general. Like if it has enough cycles that go through it, it just naturally gets slower, even if the processor, when you first bought it, is still pretty decent for nowadays. It just eventually electronics slow down, which is one of the, I guess, drawbacks of tech. One of the few. Yeah. So I'm assuming in 3 or 4 years, maybe this will break down. We'll have to get a new one. But
well, even then, $50 for that many years of streaming is definitely worth it, in my opinion.
And I thought it was a good. We used your Fire Stick for such a long time. It was a good purchase.
$50, that's equivalent to like 1 month of cable, which we don't pay for cable, so we get a lot of use out of it.
Yeah. So, recommendation: if you're younger and your parents use cable, get their cable subscription because it opens up even more doors when you stream stuff. Just FYI.
Woo.
So, because I don't think you need. There's like when you sign up your cable service, like if you have the account and everything, they don't really. You don't need a confirmation or anything. They just allow it. They're like, "Yep, here you go. Have it. Have at it." But yeah, that's my recommendation. Roku Streaming Stick Plus. I like it a lot. I think it's been already gotten good use, a good purchase.
Agreed.
So, agreed. I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't have any other recommendations or things to ramble on about.
All right, should I wrap this up?
Yep, go for it.
Well, this has been episode 28 of Husband and Wife Talks. We appreciate you all so much. We'll be back here next week, next Tuesday, the Tuesday before Christmas and the Tuesday before our skiing extravaganza.
Woo!
So that's going to be exciting when we're talking about that because we're probably going to be in pumped up mood. Probably when we record, we won't be packed yet. And so after we record, we're going to have to run around and pack. But other than that, it's been fun. Remember, please rate us. I was about to say like and subscribe. I was like, wait, we're not on YouTube. Please share us with your friends and family. If you're on iTunes right now, please scroll down, hit 5 stars. I'm saying a lot of pleases, but I feel like it's necessary. Give us 5-star rating. Share us with your friends, family, anybody that would enjoy listening to us. Follow us at facebook.com/hotpod and Twitter @hotpod. There is links in the description if you want to email us. There's links for our Instagram. There's links for Facebook and Twitter. If you want an easy way to find us, just click on those. But we are available pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Google Play, TuneIn, iTunes, obviously, Stitcher, everywhere. So please check us out. We really appreciate everyone listening. Marta, do you have anything to say before we go?
Just thank you for listening.
Okay, y'all. Bye.
Bye.